This coming Sunday is the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. We are moving closer to the end of our liturgical year. The new liturgical season, Advent, will begin on the weekend after Thanksgiving. Our gospel passage is taken from Luke's account, chapter 21, verses 5 through 19. Let's take a listen. While some people were speaking about how the temple was adorned with costly stones and votive offerings, Jesus said, "All that you see here, the days will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down." Then they asked him, "Teacher, when will this happen? And what sign will there be when all these things are about to happen?" He answered, "See that you not be deceived. For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and 'the time has come.' Do not follow them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, for such things must happen first, but it will not immediately be the end." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be powerful earthquakes, famines, and plagues from place to place, and awesome sights and mighty signs will come from the sky. Before all this happens, however, they will seize and persecute you. They will hand you over to the synagogues and to the prisons, and they will have you led before kings and governors because of my name. It will lead to your giving testimony. Remember, you are not to prepare your defense beforehand, for I myself shall give you a wisdom in speaking that all your adversaries will be powerless to resist or refute. You will even be handed over by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but not a hair on your head will be destroyed. By your perseverance, you will secure your lives." In the gospel, Jesus is telling his listeners that there will be challenging days ahead. He warns them about people who will make outlandish claims about the end times. He speaks about nations rising up against nations, earthquakes, famines, plagues. He then says that in a more personal way, there will be persecutions of individuals who will be handed over to prison. They will have to give testimony, but Jesus tells them he will tell them how to speak and how to respond. I wonder what the crowd of listeners thought as Jesus spoke about these kinds of predictions of future events. They're a bit sobering. They may have become anxious and worried about what these times would bring. Would those times, in fact, be during their own lifetime or at some time into the future? We know the reality. After Jesus' death and resurrection, there was a time of persecution of the early church, especially by the Roman government. The Roman emperor had to be worshipped as a god. If a person did not pledge that worship, they would be persecuted, imprisoned perhaps, put to death at other times. When Jesus says, "You will even be handed over by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death," that did in fact happen. Some members of a family chose to follow Jesus and refused to offer worship to the pagan Roman emperor. Within the same family, some did go along to get along. They would worship the pagan god, and this family division resulted in great tribulation and heartache. One family member pitted against another. We do experience division in our own families. Some remain faithful to the church. Some have wandered away for a time. Some have left to join no church or another church. These divisions can cause tribulation and heartache in our own lives. Our belief in Jesus Christ can also put us at odds with those in power, government officials. Think of our battles over the sanctity of all human life. In whatever the expected or unexpected events of our lives, we can and should turn to the Lord to know how to respond, to learn how to endure whatever suffering may come our way, and to know how to speak, what to say. Jesus tells us at the end of that passage, by your perseverance, you will secure your lives. Let us all ask for that grace of perseverance in the challenges we face. Let the gospel fill your week. See you in church. For now, God bless.